What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Grownish. This is season 4, episode 3. The episode is titled Demons. And let's just go ahead and be honest. Zoe is so draining. My God. Like, that girl. Ugh. I understand that she's the main focus of the show. However, within this one episode, I feel like there were a couple of other storylines that could have been talked about. But let's just go ahead and start it off with the top of this show. Why are we talking about the pandemic? I'm so mad that we just decided on Grownish that, we're going to say that the pandemic only lasted a semester. And after that, everything went back to normal. No, girl, that's not what really happened. Honestly, I wish that the show wouldn't have even mentioned the pandemic, because it kind of throws the show's timeline it's just all over the place at this point, because it's so thrown off. So let's just go ahead and get started with the fact that we are now starting the semester off of the spring 2021, right? So they all have supposedly taken online classes, because of the pandemic, and they all moved back home. I'm trying to figure out, how do they still have this house if they move back home? Somebody please let me know. The only thing that I can think happened is that Vivek still stayed at the house and everybody else went back home. Because remember, I believe his family is actually not in the U.S. I don't think they're in the United States. I think they may be back home. I can't remember where he is from. But either way, they're all back living in this house. I'm just like, who paid the rent up? Please let me know who paid all the rent up for y'all to come back like 6 months later to still have this house. It's not making sense. But let's go ahead and move forward. So we finally see Zoe. She's walking through the halls. What the hell was that outfit? I have no idea. Like, somebody please let me know, why does Zoe sometimes dress like a third grade quirky teacher who has no real style guidance? She just be throwing some clothes on. Because that outfit, no, it was serving quirky teacher. I can't do it. Just cannot. So she's over here talking about I have 12 more classes left and an internship to do. You guys, I have no idea what type of school Cal U is, but there's no way she gonna finish 12 classes in a semester. Let's be honest here. Usually 12 classes, if you're pushing it, and I mean pushing it, you can probably do that in what? A year and a half? A year? Maybe? Bye, Zoe. Goodbye. So next thing you know, she has to stand in line to possibly get an internship. I have no idea at whose school they even do this, because I've never seen this. They definitely did not do this at my college, because when we had to find internships, we got them on our own, and then we had to get them approved by someone who has a real title at our school, not another student. They had to approve the internship so that we could get our credits for it. In Zoe's case, she has to go through Rochelle. Like, I like Rochelle. I just hate that this is the capacity that we have to see Rochelle, because now she's just kind of treated as an extra who happened to date, what's his name? Aaron. So Rochelle ends up keeping things super nice between the ladies. She's like, since the pandemic has happened, there hasn't really been that many internships available, but I'll definitely look out for you. So now Zoe is surprised that she's going to look out for her, considering, she took Aaron from Rochelle. You know what I mean? He broke up with her to go back to Zoe. So now at this point, Zoe decides to have a conversation with her little friends, Anna and Nomi, about, what she should do next. Because in her mind, for some reason, she thinks that she needs to let Rochelle know that she's dating Aaron. And I'm just like, why do you need to tell her that, Zoe? Because at the end of the day, she does not have to interact with Aaron any longer. She's not going to see him on campus randomly because he graduated and he should be moving on with his life. I don't understand why you're acting like it's so hard for Rochelle. Well, really? You just want to clear your conscience because you feel guilty. You feel guilty because you know that you were trifling. You pretended to be cool with that girl. You told her, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing going on with me and Aaron. And then you ended up telling him that how you cared about him, you wanted to be with him, all this stuff. And he ended up leaving this girl. Like, honestly, I feel so bad for Rochelle because Rochelle never did anything that was out of pocket or out of line within the relationship of Aaron, with them being together. Honestly, the only thing that I gave a side eye to her about was the fact that she told Zoe to kind of like back off with Aaron because she wanted them to possibly have a relationship. But now looking back at it, I can't even be mad at her for that. Because at the end of the day, hell, Zoe was over there crossing boundaries. And honestly, she did not let the relationship try to flourish. So, like I said, Rochelle said that she was going to look out for Zoe, right? And at this point, this is where Zoe has realized that, hey, did Aaron even tell this girl why he was breaking up with her? So she goes to his apartment, I guess. Now, I want to know, what does Aaron do for work at this point? Because he's already graduated. We've been through the pandemic. And now, I just want to know, what does he do for work? Just curious. So anyways, Zoe is like, what did you tell Rochelle when you broke up with her? And basically he says that he just kind of let her down gently, but he never mentioned that he was going to be leaving her for Zoe. And honestly, he did not have to tell her that, because at the end of the day, his mind was made up. He did no longer want to be in a relationship with her. He can move on to whoever that he wants to because they were, he was done. Now, as far as Zoe goes, though, now she's upset because, he didn't tell Rochelle, and now that makes it awkward between them. But I'm like, okay, you've been with him for I don't know how long. How did you not ask him, considering you knew he had a girlfriend? How did you not ask him after the fact? Like, okay, so what did you say to Rochelle, considering you left her for me? How'd that never come up in conversation, Zoe? You're not asking the right question, sweetheart. So Aaron basically tells her, like, listen, you need to go ahead and let the past be the past. Let that go and just move forward, basically. Because he did not tell Rochelle the entire truth. But at the end of the day, like I said, he has left this college. He does not have to see Rochelle again. Now, as for Zoe, though, she still has it in her head that she needs to tell Rochelle. I'm like, you only need to tell her so that you can clear your conscience, Zoe. That's the only reason why you're this adamant about it. Because it's eating you up, the fact that this girl got her heart broken because you decided not to leave the situation alone. And especially considering the fact that Aaron cheated on Rochelle with Zoe. Let's not forget that factor. Now, after that conversation that she had with Aaron, she decided to go talk to her girls, Nomi and Anna. And Nomi is like, listen, that's very selfish of you to be like, let me go ahead and now tell this girl all this information. However, you have Anna, on the other hand, basically saying, no, go ahead and tell her because she needs to know. People need to have full transparency. And I'm like, girl, no, absolutely not. I'm sorry, but I just don't feel like Zoe is doing this for the betterment of Rochelle. Because she's not. That's not who Zoe is. Zoe is very selfish, and the only reason why she wants to do this is so that she can feel better. Because when she ends up going back into Rochelle's office, Rochelle's like, oh, great that you're here because there's something that just came up and I think that you will really like it. So she literally found this girl an internship that actually aligns with what she wants to do. However, this is the point where Zoe's like, Rochelle, I have something to tell you. Me and Aaron, we actually ended up getting together. And once Zoe was done giving her whole little speech of why she wanted to tell Rochelle this and be so honest and open with her, Rochelle proceeded to read her for filth, called her a snake and a backstabber, and I agreed with everything that Rochelle said. And the fact that, you know what, even though you did her so dirty, you did her wrong, she still ended up finding you an internship, because at the end of the day, Rochelle is not a terrible person. Rochelle is actually a really good person. And the fact that Zoe actually showed up there just so that she could tell her that, you know, her and Aaron are together. And, you know, maybe she didn't know that. And the fact that Rochelle really was like, you know, I already knew that y'all were together, but I'm still trying to, you know, and move forward with her own life. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to do her no good to be harping on Aaron and Zoe. But again, you have Zoe over here thinking that she was going to do somebody a favor by throwing it in her face that, oh yeah, girl, I'm with Aaron now, but you know, we can still be cool. Because I'm not understanding what Zoe was expecting out of this conversation, considering her and Rochelle are not friends. They're not friends at all, now that I think about it. Because at the end of the day, Rochelle only kind of came around because she was dating Aaron. But besides that, they are not friends like that. So there's no mending things. Especially when Zoe kept saying that, I'm just trying to make things right. The only way to make it right is for you to leave Aaron. Like, come on now. Alright, let me just go ahead and talk about Anna briefly. Because at one point when she was having a conversation with Zoe and Nomi, she talks about how her and Javi are doing some type of virtual counseling. I feel like we could have definitely gotten a full scene of what happens with, what's her name? Anna and Javi. Because we left off in such an awkward moment where they said they were going to talk when they got back home. But then the pandemic happened on the show. And we're being told that they're having counseling with their pastor. I'm sorry, but I feel like because they caused all that ruckus when they were in Mexico, we should have gotten a full storyline of Anna and Javi working this situation out. I'm just saying, we could have just got like one counseling session just so we can see, you know, where each one's head is at. But that's not what we got. Let me go ahead and move on to Jazz real quick. Jazz is actually killing it. And I mean, she is killing it on the track. Like, her coach even told her that, you know, with the times that you're doing right now, you could possibly be going to the Olympics in 2024 or whatever. So clearly she's in a good space, especially considering she didn't make it to the Olympics, but her sister did. So she ends up talking to this guy, Dez. So Dez basically was on the track team. He ended up leaving. She thought he ended up transferring out, but no, he didn't. He just ended up, you know, taking a mental health break. Now, she did not know that that was something that she could do, but he's like, yeah, you could go ahead and do that. You'll be like red-shirted. I'm assuming that means that you still have a spot on the team. I don't really know what that means because I did not play sports. Now, here's my only thing, though, because the coach was saying how, you know, she's doing so great or whatever. However, when she talked to her sister, because you guys, this is where we finally see Sky. Now, Sky is supposedly still in Japan, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that she is still in Tokyo. So you mean to tell me that she went across across the damn world to Japan for the Olympics, and she's been there for over 6 months? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Because literally that means that Sky has been overseas for 6 months. Also, that means that is Sky graduating with them? Like, I have so many questions now. Like, because Sky is in Japan, is she going to be able to graduate with everybody else, or is she going to be a semester behind? Because yes, she could have taken the online classes, but like for most colleges, every class that you need is now offered online. So I just want to know, like, how that's going to work out, especially considering the Olympics is only, what, 2 weeks of competition? Like, I don't understand what they're doing with Sky's storyline, but I think they should have thought of a better way to, kind of write her off the show, I guess. But let me hop back over to Jazz, because Jazz actually tells Sky that, she's been running great and, her times have been amazing. And, her sister's so happy for her. And she's like, oh my gosh, you'll be running with me soon and all this stuff. And you already know that's all that Sky wants. However, Jazz lets her know that, she doesn't think that she wants to run anymore because her heart isn't in it. And I'm just like, this really sucks, especially considering now that she's good. Like, I think that's so weird that now that she's good at running, she's running these great times and all this stuff, she wants to leave, running track. And her sister is like, she supports her, she understands. But at the same time, she's like, how are you going to, finish college? Because they're there. They attended the school on a scholarship. So how's she gonna pay for school? She says she thinks that she figured it out. At the end of the episode, we see that she went to go see a counselor to figure out how she can take off, from the track team for her mental health reasons. I said, you know what, Jazz, I cannot with you. Like, yes, I'm all for her taking a mental health break and her still figuring out how to, finish college. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, so what else are you going to have going on? Because if you ain't got track no more, y'all just going to hang out at the house all day? Oh, I guess that's what they already do. Never mind. Now, let me go ahead and talk about this last little bit that absolutely deserved a fully fleshed out storyline that we all saw. And that is Vivek. I am so sick and tired of this show playing Vivek's character. We wasted the entire episode talking about Zoe and how she needed to tell Rochelle. However, Vivek, he has already been to court. Who knew? Because we left off with them being in Mexico, right? Now, in Mexico, he said that he's paying for this high-priced lawyer who's going to, help him win his case. Then we see on this episode that Vivek has pled guilty to a misdemeanor and he has to do community service. Why couldn't we have a scene with him talking to the lawyer and being like, why do I have to plead guilty? Why do I have to do this? Or like something. But no, the only thing we got was him getting on a bus, or about to get on a bus, so that he can go do community service. And a guy basically told him, what job to do and how he wouldn't survive in jail. I am so confused as to why we did not get a full storyline that we all saw on that situation. But you know what? This is Grownish, and clearly the only character that they care about is Zoe. So on that note, that pretty much wraps up my review. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.